That's cool. Up the side. Hey, everybody.
Good morning.
Hi, John.
Morning, John.
Morning. Let me clean up here.
Hey, Tom, do you have a Leslie rotating speaker for your Hammond?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. I
Yeah,
thought you did.
yeah,
Yeah, fantastic.
yeah. It's a, I don't even have it cabled up right now. I've got a Yamaha PSR sitting next to me. Just easier to drag that up, and it's easier to drag that up upstairs than the B3.
I understand. Yeah, I'm 56, so we're kind of the same age group, and lugging a Leslie anywhere seems daunting.
Yeah, it's it was a family B3. My brother was an organist. He was a really good organist, and which I played a little professionally, but I wasn't up to his standards. But he didn't
Cool.
want it, and so I had to have it crated up and shipped out here to Edmonds, and from Illinois.
Oh,
And
right.
it was a little bit pricey. Sometimes I wondered what possessed me to, because a lot of the synthesizers will do a lot of, but it's just such a cool instrument and stuff. But
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Tom, you're going to have to give us a little demo one of these days, because especially if you got the Leslie going, that'd be so much fun.
Yeah, the real Leslie. I understand there's good digital or simulations, but that real deal is
yeah,
the
no,
real deal.
the keyboard, and I mean, Roland's got the electronic with the same keyboard feel and the draw bars and stuff. Yeah, it ain't the same really thing. So yeah, a lot of bands still. I mean, I'm impressed at how many bands still have it. Even I went down to see the Cult last year. They had one even in their band. So.
Okay, guys, we gotta wrap it up.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah. Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Some of you may have seen Zoe last Wednesday if you were on Zoom meeting, but you weren't here in the room. So Zoe's here again to say hello. And what I'm going to do is, I should be able to spotlight me. There we go. So there's Zoe. She wants to say hi.
Hello, hi guys. So I'm the office manager. Hi to all in the computer. So I am not going to physically be here, but I will be available. Email, you can reach me. You can ask about scholarship information, private lessons. If you just have general information about music department, I can be reached at any time on email. And if you're also having a hard time getting a hold of John or any of the other folks, let me know and I can help you out. So I just wanted to show you that I'm here, sort of.
Yay.
Yeah, all right.
You're here today.
All right, have a great day.
Thanks.
Okay.
See ya. Huh. That's weird. Okay. Okay. So, and wave. Hi. Hi, gang. Let's see who's here. Where's my roster? There it is. And it's time we just check in with this master list I have just to find out. First of all, make sure that all of you are on it. Let's do it this way. Come on. All right, so we've got Sarah. Saw you.
Present.
You're here. Kale, are you somewhere in the universe? All right, no Kale today. And then Ryan Berg, you out there?
Yeah, he's in the back.
Is he right here?
Yeah,
Is that who you are?
no,
Oh.
he's in the bathroom.
Oh, okay, he's in the
Yeah.
bathroom. Okay. Matthias, you out there?
Yes, I am out there. I am
Great.
so out there. I'm
Oh,
so
that's-
out there.
Yeah, I walked right into that one, didn't I? Christian,
I am here.
great. How about Aaron Carrasco? I think I've still got him on the wait list, and yeah, so that one I'm gonna do that. Sean Curran. Sean with us? No. How about Jennifer Engstrom? Jenny? No. Ashton Graves? Nope. Okay. Joffrey, I have you as a Monday person, so hopefully you're here. Are you? Nope. How about Jackson?
I'm here.
Great. Ercis,
Yeah.
you're here in the room. Cool. Bryn,
I'm in Zoom land.
Zoomland, you're a zoomin'. And Julia,
Present.
great. Chenda, are you in the room?
I'm here.
Are you at home?
Yep.
Will you be a regular Zoomer?
I'm not sure yet. I'll find out this week.
Okay, I'm putting you down as a Zoomer for now. Let me know if you want to come into a session.
Cool.
Okay, and how about Josh? No. Emerson?
Here.
Alrighty. Emerson, we should be talking about you coming and hanging with the jazz band.
Sure.
I'm going to send myself a note real quick. All right. Giovanni. And Tom, we were just talking a minute ago.
Yep. Hello, all.
Hello, how about Isaac?
Present.
Great. And Crystal? No, it looks like Crystal's not part of it. We got William.
Good morning.
Good morning. And William, do you do a bill or anything like that, or?
It's preference. Usually people call me Will or Bill.
Okay. And Damien?
I'm here.
Great. Alejandro?
Here.
There you are. Right on. Isaiah? And Cruz? Noelle, I think I saw you already. Yep. Caitlin?
I'm here.
And Marianne? Let's see here. Okay. Giovanni? No. Jim, we just saw you. And then Lauren? Lauren here. I've got Lauren down for Monday. Nope. Okay. Anybody who believes they should be on the roster, but they didn't hear their name just now. That's the big question. To make sure that you're on the roster. Okay. All right. Well, welcome back. Let me see where we left off. So first I want to give you some updates. Make sure you're noticing changes in Canvas. Over the weekend I added a few more short videos. I'm actually able to do this. Figured out this morning how to share what I'm seeing, not just with students in the room, but students at home too. We've got this 2-screen thing going on. This is probably going to look a little different because we're in teacher mode here, but the modules should look more or less the same. And Zoomers, you're not seeing it yet, right? But you should see it now.
Yes, John, we're seeing it now. Thank you.
Okay, cool, thanks. Okay, so we're all looking at the Canvas modules here, and I want to show you some things I added. I want to talk for a second just about this experience we're having. Spring quarter was the first quarter I'd ever taught music theory online, and it was like, hey, starting tomorrow you're teaching music theory online. And so it was just scrambling the whole time. But the benefit of doing that in spring quarter is that we had all had really solid foundations and fundamentals, and it didn't require as much of that sort of daily minute-to-minute interaction that I'm used to having in the fall. And so I just, in having some conversations with different students over the last week, I realized that we never got to have any of these initial introduction type conversations about scales and key signatures and that kind of stuff. And so over the weekend I added in chapter resources, hopefully you've already looked at some of these other videos. I didn't bother dealing with notes on the staff. I figure you folks are all smart enough to figure out how to do that. But I did add a video about making major scales on the keyboard, putting major scales on the staff, creating the natural minor scale on the keyboard from 2 different perspectives, parallel or just thinking whole steps and half steps, and then putting natural harmonic melodic minor scales on the staff. I want to do a couple of those today. I found this groovy little video on key signatures. I thought that was kind of fun. And then here are the other videos that were already in here. The Dr. B series is really cool. It's full lectures on the very stuff we're working on, and he's great. I did give a little disclaimer about the circle of fifths, that we're going to be using the more standard circle of fifths that goes clockwise, C, G, D, A, E, whenever we're working with circle of fifths. So I want to point out that there are these new videos that if you're still not totally solid on creating scales, major minor scales, here's some of my perspective on that stuff. Going along with that, I went ahead and pushed the due dates for those sections to next Monday. That doesn't mean that we're going to spend this whole week just on scales, because here we are in week 3, and we usually would have gotten past all the scale stuff by now. So we're still going to work out intervals and wrap up the chapter this week. But I just want to give you that opportunity to review some of that stuff and get it really solid. And as I mentioned at some point, I don't know if it was in an announcement or where it was, but I said a thing that I'm going to say again and again, and that is that when you study this stuff, when you're studying music theory and traditional harmony, there just is no room for leaving anything undone. You have to be a solid master of each one of these steps along the way, or you can't. I mean, you're literally building a foundation, and that foundation has to be solid because we're building stuff on top of it. If you, yep.
Like I read that and I took that to heart, and it's like, well, you know, I can do it. It's like I can't do it off the top of my head. I have to sit there and is that gonna? We're expected to be able to get 100% on the test right now, because I mean I'm trying my best, but like, you just keep at it, I guess. Or?
Yeah, you just keep at it. You know, as with any skill, repetition is gonna.
That's how we learn everything.
That's how we learn everything. And that's how we improve at everything. So they're asking about, you know, I feel like I'm studying it, I feel like I'm learning it, but I can't just do it right there. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That totally makes sense. You know, for example, I went through and just to have the experience that you all are having, I went through and answered all the questions in the Learn Smart assignment for Chapter 1 in Connect. And yeah, I can answer all those questions pretty much immediately, but there were like 2 or 3 of them where I had to hesitate for about a half a second, you know? And I thought, okay, if I'm having to hesitate for a half a second, then that's really what prompted me to come back and redo a couple of videos on these fundamentals, because, you know, I'm really good at this stuff. I'll just say it. I mean, I not only can I do it, but I've been teaching it for a long time, 20 years, and I'm really good at this stuff. But yet, there was a moment where I needed an extra split second to think about it, and so we're all on the same path. We're all on the path of, sure, I can do the basic operation, but I'm not as fast as I'd like to be.
Like if you give me a minute, I can sit there and I can mnemonic and circle fit, figure it out, but not instantly.
So a couple of things that can help you along the way. First of all, make sure you always have a keyboard in front of you. Whether it's a literal keyboard, hopefully it's a literal keyboard so that you're making sounds on it, or it's a keyboard on a tablet or iPad, or even just a picture of a keyboard. Have the image of a piano keyboard in front of you at all times. We're not going to be able to do testing in here, but that's why those keyboards are in front of you. And I've never, even in test mode, ever denied anyone the right to reach up and touch the keyboard. I tell them to turn it off so there isn't a room full of people pounding out scales and chords and stuff. But it's perfectly fine with me. I don't consider that cheating at all. Eventually, the keyboard's going to be in your head, and you won't need to have a picture of it. However, I work out stuff at the piano all the time, you know, and I'm a piano player and I'm a music professor, so I still do. Eventually, the image of the keyboard you're gonna carry it around with you. So that's the first thing. First thing is have a keyboard in front of you and use it all the time. Don't expect yourself to be able to answer these questions without it. It holds that pattern of whole steps and half steps, black keys and white keys, the chromatic scale, the the steps, whole tone scale, those things, that holds all the answers. All the answers to music theory lie in the patterns of the keyboard. So absolutely use that. The other thing is becoming intimately familiar with the circle of fifths. Create a circle. If you haven't done it, well, here let me hop back over. Well, we can just look at this one right here. I don't need to draw it. But practice drawing it, you know? Why didn't it do it? Shoot. Oh, there it is. It showed up over here. You know, draw a circle and focus on the major keys here and write C, G, D, A, E. And think about positions on the clock. C is at 12 o'clock, G is at 1, D, A is at 3. And look at how many sharps there are. Oh, there are 3 sharps, 2 sharps, 1 sharp, no sharps. E is at 4 o'clock, it's got 4 sharps. B is at 5 o'clock, it's got 5 sharps. Where did my mouse go? There it is. B and C flat are enharmonic. It's a term our book uses. Enharmonic means it has the same sound but a different name. And some of these land in the same spot, F sharp and G flat. They are, if you hit that key on the keyboard, you're going to play the same note. D flat and C, same thing. So these are the enharmonic keys. And I'm sure somebody's thinking, well, why? Well, I'll tell you why. Let's take, for example, G flat. If you're writing for horns, horns live in the flat keys. They are transposing instruments, and we'll get into that down the road, chapter 6 next quarter. But they are way more comfortable playing in flat keys than in sharp keys. Strings love to play in sharp keys. Strings, violins, and cellos spend most of their time playing in sharp keys. So if you're writing for an orchestra, they're going to be happier to be in the key of F sharp. If you're writing for a jazz band, they're going to be happier to be in the key of G flat. The sound of those 2 keys is identical. They are enharmonic. So that's just an example of those. Anyway, coming back around and then going down counterclockwise. C, F, B flat, E flat, 1 flat, 2 flats, 3 flats, 4 flats, 5 flats. So become very familiar with what this looks like. I like this one in particular because it also has the minor keys listed. So the key signatures for the minor keys. The key signature for D major, 2 sharps, is the same as the key signature for B minor. And what do we call that pair of
Natural minor.
Harmonically equivalent?
They are
Relative minor.
relative. There it is. Thank you, the chimer. Somebody chimed in. Those are relative keys. How are they related? They have the same key signature.
What's the rule to derive just like an offhand, is the number of steps? I read it in the book, I don't remember.
Yeah, let's actually practice that for a second.
You go from the C to the A minor or the G to the E minor?
Yeah, let's look at that. Let's do this. So folks at home, are you now seeing the whiteboard? Yeah? Okay. Let's do the C major and A minor. Here's the C major scale. I'm going to write A minor right underneath it. So this is C major here. This is an A minor. And I'm getting in the habit, I want you to get in the habit right out of the gate of writing the names of your minor keys in lowercase. Because when we're analyzing a piece of music, like for those of you who walked in the room and saw we were working on something in the key of G minor, we always identify what key we're in at the beginning of a Roman numeral analysis by writing the name of the key with a colon, and then we go through and we use Roman numerals to analyze the chords. Well, if we're in a minor key, that's always lowercase. If we were in the key of G major, it would look like that, and I'd be using uppercase Roman numerals versus lowercase for major and minor chords. So get in the habit now. I noticed they did that on the circle of fifths chart we were just looking at. The minor keys were in lowercase. So C major and A minor both have no sharps or flats. That's their key signature. A natural minor scale for A minor has no sharps or flats. C major has no sharps or flats. If we listen to that, good old C major. Hey, let's sing it. Here we go. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, descending. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Now if I go do, ti, la. I went down. And here's back to your question, Sarah. I went down 1.5 steps. Let's just look at that. Here's C.
3 half steps, yeah, that's what but it
Yeah.
does not always work? Okay.
But let's not say 3 half steps.
Oh,
Okay? I'll show you why.
yeah.
Here's the major. Here's the minor. These are relative keys.
Oh.
C major, A minor. Just remember that the major is always above the minor. The major is up above the minor. The distance between the two, here's where we can, here, let me just do this. Then folks at home can see it too. There we go. There, you see that? All right. So the distance between the two, here's the C. That's the C? No, that's the E. I'm looking at it backwards on the screen. Okay, I won't look at the screen. Here's the C. I go down a half step to B and a whole step to A. Everybody on your keyboard, folks at home, if you don't have a keyboard, you can poke this one on your screen. Play a C on the keyboard, go down a half step to B and a whole step to A. So it's not even 1.5 steps, it's half and a 1 step.
2 is 3 half.
Well, is it?
think
I mean, that's where it gets complicated, because there will be situations that if you, let's say you're in A, you know, A major. If you only think 3 half steps, let's do that. Let's go to A major. If you think 3 half steps, you might go A flat, G, G flat.
Oh, I see.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
Always do a half step and a whole step.
No, to cover.
Yeah, what is, so folks at home, let's look at this on A. Go down a half step and make it the next letter name. A to G sharp. That's our half step. Then go down a whole step, G sharp to F sharp. So it's a minor second and a major second. It's a half step and a whole step. And we find that the relative minor of A major is F sharp. So at this stage of the game, and this is, if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't worry about it. You should be. For some of you, this is super new stuff. One of the very best things you can do for yourself is just start playing scales like mad on the keyboard. Play your major scales on the keyboard. Pay attention to those whole steps and half steps in major scales. Start playing minor scales on the keyboard. Yep.
I was gonna say, I found an easy way to find like relative scales. Like, say you wanna find the relatives, you can go 6 semitones up, and then you land on A. Or you wanna go find the relative of A minor, you can go 6 semitones down, and then you land back on C major.
Yeah, but don't say semitones. Remember, a semitone is a half step.
Yeah.
What you mean is
Yeah.
scale steps.
Yeah, scale steps.
Yes, scale steps, right. So what Giovanni was just saying here, I'll go down to the bass clef. He was saying that he noticed that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the sixth note of a major scale is the relative minor.
Well, since you can swap the intervals by 9 divided minus that, it's also 3 then, right? 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah. So the sixth note of a major scale is the relative minor. For me, I mean, that's awesome. Absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. I just like the proximity of these, you know? You can get to 6 by going backwards from 1 as well. And how do you get there? With a half step and a whole step. I'll use the W and H that they use in the book. So yes, the 6th degree. So again, the relationship between 1.5 steps, for those of you who've got your intervals down, and you should at least be in the interval mode, figuring out what you know and what you don't. It's a minor third between major and minor relative scales. That's how they share that key signature. Memorize your key signatures. Even if you're not completely sure how they work yet, put that on your list to start right now memorizing your key signatures. Every single piece of music that we do in here, I left my book downstairs, but every single piece of music that we analyze for the next 5 quarters are in a key. And so you want to know what key that is instantly as soon as you see the key signature. So as soon as you see 2 sharps, you're instantly going to say
D.
Could be.
Or B minor.
Or B minor, exactly. You don't know yet. What you're going to say is, I need more information. However, I know that it could be the key of D major or the key of B,
How do you know that?
or the key of B minor. You got to look at the music. Yeah. The easiest way to go is to look at the last chord. Look at the last chord. And then, of course, listen to it. Does this sound like D major or B minor? Now here's one in the other key. The first one was B minor, the second one was D major. So you look at the music and you listen to the music. You see bunch of B minor chords, ends with a B minor chord, then it's in B minor. But at least you've narrowed it down to just those 2 when you see F sharp and C sharp. Take advantage of those videos. This is just, it wasn't so much of a wake-up call in the spring. And I think it was just because we had established so much of this foundational stuff over fall and winter quarters that when we got to spring, we could handle having conversations about, oh, what does this chord do? What does this chord do? Talking about chord progressions and listening projects and stuff. But man, I'm really missing, normally we'd be in this room, all of us together, 4 days a week. So by this point, this would be like our 9th class together in this room. And I'm recognizing now that, you know, the deficiency we have by missing that. So Again, that's why I put those videos together to make sure that your foundation stuff is absolutely there. You gotta know your scales. And again, plunking out scales on the piano. And Giovanni's been working on piano. Is your scale work on the piano helping you with your work in
Chords.
theory? Yeah, it
Scales
is.
and chords, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, that's where it's all at. It all the theory answers land on the piano. So let's talk about, let's talk about something for a second. Let's see if we can. Zoomers at home, you see that? You see the keyboard?
Yep.
How's that look? Oh, and then we did this the other day, and that helped, didn't it?
Yes, John, the keyboard looks lovely. Thank you.
Yes. No, thank you. How about the top of my head? How does that look?
Oh, it's beautiful.
That look nice?
It's great.
Okay, so let me plant this seed, gang. It's going to be a few weeks out, and I'll post the specifics of this again. But this is your midterm keyboard and singing assignment that's coming up in a few weeks.
Oh, fun.
Is to play scales and sing along with them.
Sweet.
Okie dokie. Now, as I mentioned the other day, the human voice, I've found, we tend to be comfortable around in the range of a C scale, B scale, B flat, A, somewhere in there. I'm going to do it in C right now so that it's easy to see. First, I'm gonna sing I'm just gonna do the whole bit, and then we'll talk about the process. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna sing major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, with the piano. I used to have you at the end of the quarter sing it without the piano, but for a lot of folks there just hasn't been enough time spent. So I prefer that you sing it slowly, really listening to the sounds of the keyboard and matching pitch. And then descending. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Then you're going to make it natural minor. For the natural minor scale, remember, if you look at all those notes, we lowered the 3rd scale degree, we lowered the 6th scale degree, and we lowered the 7th scale degree. So I end up, for C minor, I end up with an E flat, an A flat, and a B flat.
To the natural minor?
To natural minor. Mm-hmm. And as I mentioned somewhere along the line, I don't remember which conversation we were having or if it's in one of my videos, but I talked about the solfege. I think it's in the video. That the mi solfege becomes me when we lower it. La becomes le. Ti becomes te. So this is we're working with multiple modalities in our brains right now. Our fingers, our ears, the sound of the syllable. Yeah.
Well, just I took to heart what you were saying, and as far as there's this app called Vocal Pitch Monitor, and I've been singing in the car, and I put that little solfege right on my thick, and I sing that crap all day, and it
Great.
really helps.
Good. Okay, so now we're going to sing the natural minor scale. Here we go. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. If that's hard, it should be.
Oh,
It's
God.
freaking crazy. Who would do such an insane thing? Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it. It just means you haven't done it enough. Just tell yourself that again and again. Every time you're like, oh, I'm such a freaking idiot, I can't do this. No, no, no. You just haven't done it enough. totally do this. And then descending. Do, te, le, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Make it harmonic. The difference between a natural minor scale and a harmonic minor scale is we raise the 7th degree. If that's the very first time you've ever heard that phrase, you haven't been doing enough work.
What did you just say?
Okay? You should be watching more of the videos online. You should be reading the chapter. If that's the first time you've heard that sentence, you turn a what?
Literally, what did you just say? I was trying to write down the tape.
I'm about to say it again, yeah. To turn a natural minor scale into a harmonic minor scale, you raise the 7th scale degree. I'll put these up on the board in a second. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, le, sol, fa, mi, re, do. To make it melodic minor, you raise 6 and 7 together. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, te, le, sol, fa, mi, re, do. The descending form is the same as natural minor. So again, let me play the whole thing for you. And this is like 3 weeks out. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, te, le, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sorry, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, le, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And then we use natural going down. Do, te, le, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Isn't that fun?
Yes.
Is that going to be for all the keys?
No.
Okay.
What I'm going to have you do is choose 2 keys
Okay.
in the range from A to C.
Okay.
Choose 2 keys and work those out.
Can I ask why the descending on melodic minor is what? That's just the natural minor descending, right?
Yeah.
Because it's you flat the 3, 6, and 7 on the descent. Is there a reason for that? Is there an explanation for that?
Yes. The idea is, the reason for that, I've lost track of all the different things I'm doing. Give me that, okay. Yes, because, let's first talk about why we made melodic minor in the first place. So, if we have natural minor, as I talked about in the video, there are times when we need to raise this 7th degree. If you didn't pick this up in the video, I've really emphasized it, and I'm going to emphasize it again right now. When you are studying natural minor, harmonic minor, melodic minor, you are studying minor as one large thing, okay? Yes, you can use those scales independently for certain things. You can play around with harmonic minor because it sounds cool. But in traditional harmony, when you're in a piece of music that's in a minor key, you just get these different versions of the 6th and 7th scale degrees. They just come up in different ways in different places for different reasons. The 7th degree gets raised to become harmonic minor for the sake of fixing the harmony of the 5 chord in that moment. And like I played in the video, it went. That sounded good, didn't it? Well, that's because I used T instead of te on my G7 on my 5 chord. Te sounds okay. It sounds kind of cool, you know. It works better on a pop tune or a disco tune. That minor 7 chord sounds cool, but listen to the power of T. Wow, that just says T down. Okay, so I'm fixing that chord.
Okay.
5 chord. I'm fixing that chord with T. Now the problem with that, it makes for great harmony, harmonic minor, but it doesn't make for very good melody, because if you leave that 6th degree down there, and what I'm talking about are ascending melodies. That T is an ascending tendency tone. It wants to push things up. If I come from below melodically, I'm going to get this exotic kind of Middle Eastern sound. Not that there's anything wrong with exotic Middle Eastern music, but our goal in here is to capture the style of traditional harmonic progression, the traditional harmonic sound. And so we have Western European traditions. So we avoid that sound. We avoid that augmented second sound on ascending melodies. And we do that by raising the 6th degree as well. If I do... Doesn't that sound nice? If I left it as harmonic minor, yeah, so that ascending scale there sounds funky. So we raise the 6th degree. So the answer to your question, why is one way and one's the other way? It's because in analyzing, all right, take care.
Thank you.
Yeah. In analyzing and observing thousands of pieces over the centuries, we find that most melodies, when they involve that 5 chord, tend to use melodic minor passages. And descending melodies tend to use lowered scale degrees because they aren't involving that 5 chord. So to put simply, ascending melodies tend to use raised pitches, descending melodies tend to use the pitches of natural minor. Whee! Oh, these classes need to be 3 hours long. Okay, so I'm glad we did this. This is a good hang. I cannot tell you how important it is to get on the keyboard and just start plunking stuff out. And the reason I mentioned the midterm singing test is because you may as well do that now. You may as well, every time you plunk out a major scale on the keyboard, you may as well sing along with it. Every time you plunk out a minor scale, and again, watch my video on making scales on the keyboard, and I sing the solfege as well. I put the solfege in there too. Also putting them on the staff. You may as well sing that minor solfege. If it's completely foreign and you're like, what? That's okay, of course it is. I was not born into this world singing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, di, la, sol. No, not at all. That was all new to me at one point too. And the only reason I'm good at it is because I've done it a million freaking times. Over and over and over and over again. If you do it over and over, if you're thinking, I can never do that. Well, think about it this way. If you practice that every day for the next 24 days straight, I think you're probably going to get pretty good at it. If you let that little voice tell you that you can't do it, and if by thinking I can't do it so I'm not going to, then yeah, you're absolutely right. You can't do it. But if you think I can't do it, follow that with, I can't do it just because I haven't done it. I'm gonna do it. I can't do it because I haven't practiced it enough. That's the only solution. Just get in there and do it. Get in there and do it. If you're not sure how to do it, then check in with me, check in with the tutor. I have office hours this afternoon, 1:30 to 2:30. It's gonna be tight because I'm gonna be screaming back from here. But I should be able to fire that thing up by 1:30. Tomorrow, 10:30, Wednesday, 1:30, Thursday, 10:30, Friday, 10:30. Let's hang and let's practice this stuff. But again, get the keyboard in front of you, plunk through these scales, and sing, sing, sing. Okay.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it again on Wednesday. Right on, gang.
Thanks, John.
Yeah.